Hello, this is another run of The Binding of Isaac Rebirth, but this is in greed mode. Greed mode is quite different than the regular gameplay in that there's kind of like an arena. There's a big arena room, and then there's a button in the middle to stop it. It's like a gauntlet. There's 8 waves of regular monsters, 2 waves of boss, and then 1 bonus wave for you to open up the door to the double room. There's a big shop that automatically comes with restock, which is kind of like the best place to exploit things, because this Isaac also starts out with the D6. So with D6 and restock, your odds of exploiting, well, I don't know if exploiting is the right word, but your odds of getting to that method where you can just start buying like almost an infinite amount of items is quite possible when these 2 items are in the same game. And also to note, there are 2 treasure rooms on the side. One is locked and one isn't. The silver one is not locked, and that item pool is the boss room item pool. And then the golden door, that one's just like a regular treasure room. And then there's a curse room too, which, has like the regular curse room stuff. And yeah. So, for example, here, I managed to roll with my d6 a d20 and a blank card. So, and I was also lucky enough that the battery, the little the little battery that charges your activated item was also being sold in the shop. So these are all good conditions to make a killer game happen. So with my blank card, I had Temperance and Judgment, so I kept spawning these beggars so they would drop items. Dropping items where I could roll. Cracked dice is quite useful. When you get hurt, there's a chance of re-rolling all the pickups on the screen or all the items on the screen. And prior to this, I think that item is called Mom's Key. And what that item does is it just greatly upgrades your chests. So when you open them, there's like a lot more pickups, a lot more coins, bombs, keys, hearts, etc. You see how when I get damaged by the dark bum, my cracked dice activates and then it re-rolled the items. Not the pickups. Though it does that too. It can do that too. Deciding on whether or not to use my question card, which acts like your activated item. So never use it with a blank card, because I think your blank card and your question card will disappear if you use them in junction. So usually when I find like good trinkets or cards, I like to drop them off in the shop, just in case I accidentally like drop them on the ground, and then I re-roll all the pickups in the room with a D20 and lose them forever. That's usually quite traumatizing. So, ooh, X-ray vision, betrayal, those are all pretty good items. So yeah, the objective is to just keep getting more and more items on the screen, and then going back, exchanging my item for the D6, and then re-rolling the items. Doing this method, I usually don't like to get things that increase my health because you end up picking up a lot of things that on the side increase your health anyway. Ooh, cricket's head. The best. Curved horn is also good. Adds to your damage. See, right now I can't re-roll the stuff in the room because both the blank card and the D20 are very important and essential to me. So you will see at one point I will try to create an activated item in both of the treasure rooms so I can move my D6 and blank card there. Doesn't happen yet, but it will. I tried to spawn a bunch of beggars, but then they all got blown up by bombs that they spawned. So it didn't quite pan out like how I hoped. Because really the dream or the fantasy is to have like 10 items on screen, or 20 even, and then roll that. Oh, my crack dice. Yep, that's what happened. It started blowing up some dudes. Sometimes I leave so then like the chest would disappear, because an open chest can turn into a pickup as well. You can roll an open chest into a pickup. So it's like it's just sometimes there's just too many things on the screen, and I like to avoid that. Oh, I just got tough love, which shoots out better tiers depending on your luck stat. And I was lucky enough to get luck up pills in this game, in this run. Too much stuff. I'd yet to find pair throw, so I was still dependent on my D6. But once I find pair throw, which I end up doing eventually, then I have no need for the D6 anymore because the blank card will do that job. And I have I have deep pockets, so I can carry two kinds of runes or cards. Ooh, I found the hourglass. It's very important because in greed mode there's a donation machine at the end, and the more you donate, the more it like breaks and you can't keep donating. But with the hourglass, there is a way to keep donating. And so because I want to roll the rest of the stuff in the room, but I don't want to roll away my hourglass, I have to move my hourglass to a different location, to a different room. And I'm waiting for an activated item so I can replace hourglass with it. And I wanted that, so I have to create another item to roll. Oh no! So the thing to do is to spawn something. Hmm. I was a little bit confused there. This is too much to do. Ooh, perfect. It dropped that, which is an activated item, and then now I am free to roll all the items in the room. But I also wanted to create an activated item. I had habit, so every time I get hurt, it gets charged by one grid. Oh, and I wanted that, so ooh, yay, I turned into Guppy. That's like one of the best things you can do for your character because Guppy essentially spawns like if it spawns like a fly almost on every shot at the enemy. So if you have like tiers that create like sustained damage, such as like a laser, or your tier rate is just so high that you just keep shooting at the enemy, then you will create a lot of flies. And these flies do a lot of damage. Their damage scales to your damage. So if your damage is very high, it's actually an incredibly powerful addition to your damage output. Oh yeah. Money is power. That's a really good item. Oh yeah. PhD. Stigmata is good. It's damage and health. Yeah, that's why like sometimes I actually will purposely like deplete all of my health, like using Guppy's Paw or something, because you just sometimes it's not good to have too much health because you won't have as much room for like the dark hearts or your soul hearts. So ideally, I'd like to have my health at like 4 or 5, just enough for like double room purchases, and the rest is all soul hearts. Dark hearts is best because if you get hurt, it damages the room, damages all the monsters in the room. Ooh, lusty blood. See, right now I still haven't really been able to use the shop restock way of, oh my god, shop restock way of getting items. So when I find pair throw and move my blank card to a different place, then I can start doing Yeah, if you spawn them strategically, especially against the wall, it seems to be easier to feed them heart or feed them. It's like faster to feed them health or coins if you spawn them at a good angle. I accidentally picked up the black bean, which I totally don't want to, but it like pauses the screen so you would fart upon damage. It's kind of annoying when in this method of spawning items you need to constantly be damaged. So there's no sound, but if there were, you'd hear a lot of flatulence. I didn't pick up the toxic shock, anyway, the thing that poisons the whole room. Because the gauntlet, you stay in the same room. You're not constantly entering a new room, so that doesn't really do much. But if I were doing a regular run, that would be quite helpful. Oh, triple I. Come on. Gimme. No. That's a good item. No. Sometimes I'm always really afraid of bombs blowing up. My precious bums. Give me an item. Give me an item. Okay, there's an item. So I have to go roll that into an activated item so I can move my blank card. Nope. Oh, darn it. It was a good item. Jesus juice is good. No. Ah, darn it. Another good item. Actually, for me, it's like doing this kind of grinding of items is really way more fun than the actual fighting of monsters. I forgot to get it charged. Yes, there you go. Finally. So that's an activated item, and then I can switch my blank card and put it in a safe place. And now I can just use my d6 and just start actually rolling the shop items. I had to save because I finally got to a point where I wanted. There you go. This is where the fun begins. Chaos. Hive mind. Hive mind makes your flies bigger. BFFs make your followers bigger. Guppy's paw. Trinity shield. Steven. Wafer. It's all excellent items. I wanted to put it closer, so easier to access. Blank card in junction with 2 of diamonds. Give me extra money. So as you see, here's an activated item. If I buy it, another item rolls. So now I have 4 items on the screen. Or 5, because I just got more. $20.20 is really good. Now I doubled my tiers. And it will double them whether your tiers have already been modified to 3 times the amount or 4 times the amount. So 2020, and 2020 doesn't affect your shot speed or tier rate. It's amazing. It's a great item. I would never get the 9V because it will kind of fuck up. There's another item, I forget what it's called, but it's like when you press space and your item is at 0 charge, it'll take away 2 hearts to fully charge your item. And then the 9V would fuck that up. You can't use it. So I don't buy it when I see it. No good. But I got it. Spider mod is good. It shows you how much damage you do. Which is good for Let's Plays, so you can show off to people how great you are. Swarm Protector. Spear of Destiny. Spear of Destiny is like okay, because it's a very short range thing in front of you, but it looks cool. Guardian Angel. More activated items to buy. I need more money using my blank card. Godhead. Godhead gives your tiers aura, and your auras also do damage, so the soul is also really good. It kind of like when projectiles come toward you, it kind of just like warps them away or moves them. Sacred Heart. I had to save because I was afraid of when, like, if I fucked up and then I had to quit or something and it wouldn't show up again. So or I guess if I fucked up and I had to force quit and I redid it, it wouldn't show up again. So I had to save. But yeah, pretty much like the moment I find Sacred Heart, the rest I just feel like it's not even necessary. I don't have to really keep going. I just do it for fun. But Sacred Heart really just kind of seals the deal. Come on. When do I find... I think I'm trying to get a Parathor right now to happen. To get some coins. Sorry. Get some pills, too. Yes! Finally! Got it! So I'm dropping them off here. I think one of the key points to like using a D20 and D6 and just using them effectively is you should definitely have different designated rooms. Like you leave your things in different rooms, and different rooms also have kind of like, some are just for pickups and some rooms are used for storing activated items you don't want to roll away. So yeah, now I don't even have to like change my activated items because I don't need my D6 anymore now that I have Pair Throw. All I have to do is just sit on top of this battery and it'll automatically buy it as I sit there, and then I just keep charging my 2 of diamonds or Pair Throw, or activating my 2 of diamonds or Pair Throw via the blank card. Yeah, I just keep using pair throw to re-roll the items, but how this is what they've changed in Rebirth compared to the Binding of Isaac, like the first generation, is that it used to be uh, the item pools were definite. Um, you had a set amount of items, and then once they appear, once you've rolled them or they've spawned from the treasure room or boss room or shop room, whatever, they don't appear again. And but now they've in Rebirth they've added these fillers, which are these milk, like expired milk, I forget what they're called, like milk cartons. So they're fillers. So yes, once an item has shown up, it's depleted from the pool and it won't happen again. However, that doesn't guarantee the next item is like a next item from the pool. In fact, they dilute the pool now with like these mm, milk cartons, which is just like a health up item. So I don't really know how to explain it. I don't know if it makes sense, but before, say you would have like 100 items, and then every time an item shows up, that number decreases. So it's like it goes from 99 to 98, and then when like you've depleted the last item, it just shows up. There's like this unknown glitchy item that shows up. But I guess to prevent that from happening, they've diluted the pool with these milk cartons. So when you're depleting the pool, it's still always like there's always going to be 100 items. So it's just that maybe you deplete it to a point where there's only one like actual item left, and then there's 99 milk cartons. And so the chances of you getting the item you want, the more you roll, actually decreases because there's the chances of the milk carton showing up, it gets higher and higher. So yeah, it's like if you get Sacred Heart in the beginning, then you're lucky. But if you don't, and you don't get Sacred Heart, like if it just doesn't show up in the beginning, that means towards the end you just have to roll like more and more and more, because the chances are mostly you'd just be rolling these milk cartons to show up. Yeah, so now it's just like the grind to see what else is left and what else I can get. But I think I've mostly gotten the items that I wanted. I mean, getting 2020, getting Godhead, getting Triple Shot, Sacred Heart, and what else did I get? Oh, Tough Love. Tough Love is really good, especially when your luck is maxed. Then that's like the ideal situation. And what's great about like Rebirth is that now they have lucky pennies. So even if in this particular run you don't get the luck up pills, like in your pill pool you didn't get luck up or luck down, which can be fixed with PhD, you can still get lucky pennies to solve all your woes, to get max luck. I think I do this for another like few minutes before I decide I'm ready to move on, because there's not really any other items I want, and now it's mostly just rolling milk cartons. Milk cartons, milk cartons. I think, yeah, to increase my chances of rolling more stuff, I decided to make more items show up on screen. So so yeah, I did that using the judgment cards. And they all spawn milk cartons because I think most of their pools have been, well, actually because of chaos, all the pools have been mixed together. And everything is mostly just spawning milk cartons. Ooh, Bomber Boy. Oh, an activated item. So creates more items. Pop-a-fly. Oh, soy milk is no good. I mean, it will greatly decrease your damage, so while also greatly increasing your tear rate and maybe shot speed, I'm not sure, but I play to have big tears. I don't want soy milk to go and F that up. So yeah, you see how in the pool there's so little other items that when you roll, it's mostly just milk cartons. When it rolls, it's choosing from like, yeah, the pool, and then yeah, it's like a probability pool kind of thing. Yeah, I never know if I'm explaining it well, but I play this game so much that it's like, I guess it's almost like I kind of generally know what's left in the pool, and like at this point, I mean, what are the odds of an actual item showing up against a milk carton? I wish I had the same kind of devotion with like poker. Then I'd be making some real money. That item that showed up was like a tractor beam and makes your tears shoot straight. But my tears are like, they just cover the entire screen now. There's no need for that. Okay, yeah, I decided that it was time to go. So I picked up my hourglass so I can use you'll see, the exploit that lets me keep charging the donation machine. Oh yeah, there's one more level, which is the shop. La 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 la. Nothing stands in my way. Because my tears are so big. I also have Serpent's Kiss, which I think poisons an enemy, and then if that enemy dies while it's poisoned, it drops a black heart. Something like that. Krampus. There's also a Krampus in Don't Starve. I think with Don't Starve, like, my chances of doing a Let's Play is much less, because in that game, I'm always, like, restarting. So, okay. Here it is. So when you have an hourglass with, I forget the name of the battery, but the battery that lets you store 2 charges, you can... Okay, so now I'm charging the donation machine, and it'll break upon just like a few coins, a few donations. And then I teleport, not teleport, I use the hourglass to travel back in time into the previous room and do it all over again. But the donation machine will have kept my donations. Yeah, greed just dies.